Mic check 1 2. It's the Y2K Collector, and this is the current box with all of the items that I'm selling right now to try and build up the game collection fund to be able to pick up some of the Super Nintendo games that I'm wanting to add to my collection. But I recently saw a video that Cody with a K dropped. Shout out to Cody with a K. I've been subscribed to his channel for a while. And he put out another one of those amazing pickup videos or trade videos that he does. You know, he puts them out at least once a week or so, and he kind of shows you how he builds a video game collection from scratch. And you know, I saw his video and I love it, man. I love it. I love his strategy. There's a lot of cool things that he does, but there is one detail that he makes in his video, and he's such a cavalier guy. He says things in such a jovial way that you might miss one very important piece of a warning that he gives his viewers. He does warn you in his videos, but he does it in a very funny way. And that warning is what made me kind of want to put this video out there, because I too am in the process of trying to build a video game collection. It's not a $10,000 collection, but it is a collection. And watching his video really reminded me of the two major dangers that can be associated with video game hunting. And you know, I'm not as animated as he is, but I did take one of his warnings to heart. And so I'm going to start with there's two dangers, and I'm going to start with the first. There can be a physical danger, right, when it comes to game hunting via Facebook Marketplace. We've all heard stories about people who tried to do deals on Craigslist and on Facebook, and when they get there, the deal winds up costing them a lot more than what they anticipated. And when you watch Cody with a K's video, in both of his trades, both when he did I think he did a Xbox Series S pickup, and then he also did a Nintendo Switch pickup. And in doing both of those pickups, they were both done at night. Probably because the people that he was doing them with, they were both adults from what it looked like. And usually adults that aren't like collectors or anything like that, usually the only time that they have to kind of meet people or do things like that is usually going to be in the evening or during the night or something like that. And so there is a major risk. Like, that's not something to be like taken lightly. Meeting a stranger at night. And he says, you know, he even admits, he's like, you know, this is a really sketchy part of town. Now, he's in Canada, and I don't know what the crime is like or no, not Canada. I think he's in Colorado, Colorado Springs. I don't know what the crime is like in Colorado Springs, but I know that in most major cities in America, New York, LA, Chicago, Detroit, Miami, I'm sure Atlanta, Houston, shout out to you. If you're watching from any of these cities, shout out to you, right? If you're in any major city, meeting a stranger at night is almost like not an option at all. Like, at least for me. And I think most people who live in a major city, you're smart enough to know, like, it is probably not the best thing for your health to meet a stranger on the internet at night, especially for a video game. Like, my life is worth more than a $250 video game. Now, you might say, Y2K, dude, why do you have to be so dramatic? Y2K, dude, why do you have to think about the negatives? Well, because when you live in a major city, unfortunately, you tend to see and hear a lot more of the negative than the positive. And I've seen and heard a lot of stories about people getting lined up, people getting set up over things that are even less than video games. I've heard stories where people have gotten robbed over earpods, where people have gotten robbed over really small things that you would never think, like, really, somebody went and lost their life over something that small. And that's really important. It's really important for those who watch those pickup videos to understand, because I know a lot of younger viewers might watch that. A lot of aspiring collectors might watch that. And they might, if, you might try that method, of going on Facebook Marketplace and putting something online. And if you do wind up getting a deal from someone, you might get a bunch of deals with people who are willing to meet you in the middle of the day, but maybe what they're offering you isn't as enticing as the person who's maybe offering you all the stuff that looks like exactly what you're looking for, but they can only meet you at 7:30 at night or 8 o'clock at night. And I would just caution, anyone who is, thinking about building and starting a collection from scratch, really, really be mindful of what you're doing, right? Especially if you're meeting strangers to pick up games, because that's like, we can laugh it off in a YouTube video, but like when it boils down to real life, like real life still happens. And not everybody who sells video games is part of the video game community. Not everybody that you speak to on Facebook Marketplace is who they say they are. And there are legitimate dangers in meeting strangers online. So anytime, if you are going to do something like that, anytime you are going to meet someone online, my recommendation, bring someone with you. Bring someone with you that you trust. Bring someone with you that you know. And bring someone with you, most importantly, who's going to hold you down if things go left. Because there's always that possibility. There's always that possibility that things can go left. And so you always want to be prepared. I grew up in the East Coast. I grew up in New York City. So when you grow up with a New York state of mind, you're always thinking something can go left. And so you always want to be prepared for that. Not knocking Cody with a K. Love his videos. I think his videos are spectacular. But even he himself, he does warn you. He tells you in his videos, I wouldn't recommend doing this. Like, don't do, he's telling you, don't do what I'm doing. But that's one of the things he has to do to build his collection. So I just wanted to take a moment to really stress that point in his video that he says in passing, because I think a lot of people watch his videos and get so caught up in all the things that he picks up that they miss the importance of what he's saying right there. Now that's the physical danger. There's also a financial danger to video game collecting, especially when you're going about it doing like the meetup method or the Facebook Marketplace method. And this is something that I saw from a video that I watched today from the Pick and Preacher. Now, I don't follow this guy. This is probably like the first video that I've ever seen of this guy. But he talked about how I think he tried to follow Cody with a K, right? Like he tried to do the Cody with a K method. He met up with someone online, and I can't remember what it was he traded. Like I can't remember, honestly. Maybe it was an Xbox Series S. I think he traded someone an Xbox Series S, and he got like a Dreamcast, like some Dreamcast games. Like it looked like he got a bunch of stuff. It looked like a sweet deal on the face of it. It looked like, oh man, all right, cool. You got some good stuff for that trade. But when he got home, probably the best Dreamcast game in the lot didn't work. It was Street Fighter Alpha 3, and I love Street Fighter Alpha 3. It didn't work. So that's a bummer. That's basically money lost. So there goes whatever value is in the Street Fighter Alpha 3, he could just wipe that off of the trade. Then I think I don't know if he got a Dreamcast or if he didn't. I can't remember. But the other thing that that stuck with me about that video is that there were 2 Xbox games that he was banking on to kind of bring in some value for the trade. And it turned out that those 2 Xbox games were fake. They were reproductions. And I just did a video earlier this morning about reproduction games and how closely they look to real games, right? So you always got to be careful, especially when you're buying games and you're meeting up with people. You got to be able to double check and look and know if what they're giving you is fake. You know what I mean? If not, you're going to get got. And that's the financial danger, because here you are spending your money, spending your hard-earned money. And listen, when you make a trade, you're spending money because you had to spend the money to get the thing you're trading. So trading is still spending in some way. You know what I mean? So I saw the Pick and Preacher in that video, and, it sucks. It sucks because, you know, he's probably thinking, yeah, I got a couple great games that I could add to my collection, and I've also got a couple games that he's probably thinking he could sell to make his money back. But then when you realize the games are fake or that they don't work, now you're stuck. And so this is why for me, especially in 2024, I really just, and maybe that's why I don't have amazing deals. Maybe that's why today all I was able to pick up were some lame PlayStation 3 games. But I tell you what, I'd rather pick up lame PlayStation 3 games than get fake games or put myself in a situation where things could go left. Again, I'm not trying to knock the method. I really like the fact that he's able to do those deals. I just don't know if they're going to work in every city or in every one situation. So I guess this is more like a PSA. Be safe, be smart, be frugal, be shrewd, know what it is you're doing. If you're going to do a deal with someone, especially someone on from offline, look at the photo first, really examine the photos of what they're selling you. Ask them, is everything authentic? And then when you get there, do your best to try to check to see if everything that they're giving you is real. In a lot of cases, there's really no way to test if what they're selling you is going to work or not. I mean, unless you're like buying Sega Genesis games and you come with a fully charged Sega Nomad, or like, you know, or you come with a Superboy or some type of portable PlayStation disc reader. I don't know, but unless you're coming with something to test the games that you're buying, or unless you know how to authenticate the games that you're purchasing, try to be smart. Try to use common sense. I know a lot of the videos that we see on YouTube are fun and they're sensationalized, and I love them. I love to watch them. I get inspired by them, and a lot of them have inspired me to collect, but I don't want the casual viewer to glaze over the fact that Cody with a K told you not to meet up with people at night, because it's not the safest thing to do. So I just got done doing a bunch of game hunting today. I hit up about 4 GameStops. I went to about 3 thrift stores, and I found zilch, nada, nothing. I spent $40 on about 9 to 11 games. And those are the games that I'm going to try to flip. Everything that you see in this box here are games that I'm going to be trying to flip to be able to add to my fund. Right now I've got about $200 in there, and I'll be putting together a more formal video tomorrow for the subscribers of the channel. Shout out to the subscribers and all the new subscribers to the channel. I'll have more content for you tomorrow, but just wanted to give that PSA out to all of the younger viewers who may not know better. Don't meet strangers at night. That's not smart. It's the Y2K Collector, man. Take it easy.